Okay, ladies and gents, are we live? It is time to rock and roll. I am super excited, obviously, because Rogue is a thing. Rogue is just too strong right now, and there is no way that I'm gonna resist playing the Rogue. So, let's begin having some fun. We're gonna rock and roll. I'm gonna rock tenfold. Yo. Hey, yo. Alright. Let's get this party started. Alright. My own stream is set up. Hello, newbie. Good to see you. Give me a second, yeah? Alright. And ever since last night and I saw how crazy the Rogue was, I had to continue it this morning. I had to. There was just no choice. 110%. Boom shakalaka. Okay, looks like we're all good. Okay, let's get back into it, shall we? So last night I was clearing all these crazy high tier nightmares, and I plan on doing exactly that again today, because I could do Helltide, but Helltide's really not worth it for my Rogue at this point. My Rogue is just so strong, like there's like no need for me to even worry. So we're gonna, you know, go pop a few. Alright. Let's warm up with a tier 12. The Rogue is just unbelievably strong, man. It's nuts. Oh, you talking about Survival Instincts? Yeah, Survival Instincts is really good. Well, the problem with the Druid, right, is that I can kind of see, like, as much fun as I have as a werebear, right? The biggest downside, in my opinion, is just the fact that their damage is lacking compared to the Rogue. And of course, the reason for this is that their damage, much like with the Barbarian and many other, the Rogue and the Barbarian have the advantages of multiple weapons. So I can use my like crossbow. I can use my bow basically as a affix mule. But the Druid and all the other classes in the game don't really have that. And on top of that, unless you're playing Storm Druid, your only means of inflicting vulnerable is actually the werebear form. So now that I've learned all that I've learned, right, I think next time, right, I think for season 1, I might actually go Storm Wolf with the Druid, because vulnerable is just too crucial. Vulnerable right now, right, is just too crucial as a build. Like, as much as I love pulverized werebear, you know, for the tankiness, even more than unstoppables, it's vulnerables that matter, because once you stick on the right modifiers, I think you can just ignore things. But I'll have to see, because the Druid, unfortunately, unlike other classes in the game, is almost 100% reliant on defense, on defensive aspects that may not always be, that you can't always just put out. So that's something else that I'm gonna have to think about seriously. But we'll see how that goes, because pulverized werebear is sick and awesome. But it might have to be the Storm Wolf that I go for. And also, rogues, and barbarians, unlike the other classes, they have the major advantage right now of having multiple aspects, because they get basically 2 extra aspects that other classes don't get. So yeah, the rogue's weakness, nothing. The rogue can easily, I'm fighting level 65s right now, so I'm fighting like 10 levels above me. To be fair, I can go 11 or even 12 levels above me, and it's literally not gonna bother me, because the rogue is too strong. It has the same advantages as the barbarian, except that because I think season 1, right, I'm actually gonna try a Whirlwind Barb build, because the Whirlwind Barb, unlike the Hammer Barb, has an innate vulnerable, and I'm just like, right now, I think that what a lot of other creators have said is the most correct. It's the ability to inflict vulnerables that make a S tier build S tier, because vulnerability damage is in its own bucket, which means that anything that you do, all the other kinds of damage, is then stacked up by vulnerability damage and then multiplied by crit. So when you have crit and vulnerable are like two separate buckets that are just too crucial, but vulnerable, if you have a class that can inflict it on demand, does so much better, because it is just anytime, anywhere kind of dealio, you know? And considering the fact that I have double unstoppables as a rogue and can literally teleport, reposition anytime, anywhere, it's crazy, like crazy mobility coupled with insane damage. Like you take, and also the rogue has the best healing in the game, so you don't really have a lot of risk of dying. I'm probably gonna stick Pulverized Werebear for this season, but next season I might consider Stormwolf, but Druid next season is probably gonna be one of the last ones that I do. I'm gonna focus on the classes that can innately inflict vulnerable first, which is Necro, Barb, and Rogue. These are probably gonna be the S tier classes. Why? Because being able to inflict vulnerable on demand is just too crucial. Like, I don't want it to be, but it is, and we all know it. There's like no, you know, there's no way to get around it. Like, you're seeing it, you're seeing the results in action right now. When you can inflict vulnerable on demand, everything melts. No matter how many levels, you know, they are above you. Rogue has the best single target AoE, and, well, the only downside is that the Rogue is melee. But overall, the Rogue has the best of pretty much everything, because their vulnerable is inflicted on a basic skill. And to be fair, Stormwolf has the same thing. So I'm thinking that if done right, the Stormwolf potentially could be on the same level as the Rogue. But the Rogue, of course, has certain other advantages, like I mentioned. Being able to use your crossbow as a affix mule gives it basically the same vulnerables that Stormwolf has, but with even more modifiers, I'm doing all this without an upgraded chest piece, without an upgraded sword. I'm literally fighting 11 levels higher without any of the other advantages. And the reason is because Rogue is just too strong with the fact that it has innate vulnerable. Now that I've experimented with every single class, right, I can certainly tell you that my tier list for season 1 is going to be, you know, all about whatever inflicts innate vulnerability. I'm literally going to start with Necro, because the biggest advantage of Necro and why it's an S tier class is that in the early game and mid game, right, Necro is the only class that has no requirements. Rogue does. Rogue and Barbarian both do, which makes them less viable to start with. And that is okay, because they're so strong anyway. But lacking that easy farm in the early game and mid game hurts them a bit more, because the Necro has all the same advantages minus the extra weapon. But you see, Necro is very unique, because Necro is so strong with the minimum number of aspects, which I think is why the Necro is like S tier right now. Again, it's all about whoever can be strongest with the minimum stuff is what will ultimately be the strongest overall, you see? And that is why, you know, when I start, now that I've experimented with all classes and I understand all of them, right, I've come to realize that when season 1 drops, I'm hoping for no nerfs. But if they do, they might adjust how vulnerability damage works, but if they do, again, like, it's not going to be pleasant, and it's going to be, in my opinion, very, very dumb to do that. That was a boss 10 levels higher. I'm doing this as a warm-up. And this is my warm-up. Yeah, exactly, Carson. Exactly the point. So that's why Stormwolf would be like, if you ask me my tier list, right? Necro at the top, Rogue and Barbarian are equal because they both require one aspect. Then Stormwolf is below them because it requires multiple uniques and aspects as well, but it does have innate vulnerable. And Sorcerer is the lowest because Sorcerer only has innate vulnerable with a skill, which means one skill is locked into your build. And that is unfortunate. And that skill is on a long cooldown, which means you're locked into cooldown reductions as well on top of that. So yeah, it's overall, like, so overall Sorcerer needs the buff. Never run basic damage on the Sorc. Because if you're running Sorc, you should never use a staff. Sorcerer, in order to be viable, requires a wand and focus. Why? Because the focus comes with cooldown reduction, and you need cooldown reduction the most on the Sorcerer. So staffs are totally useless for the Sorcerer. Absolutely useless. Especially once you get into late game, right? In fact, if you want to start killing even 7 levels above you, you're going to need a wand and focus. Because not only do they require lucky hits, they also require... On Druid, okay. On Druid, I would say decide for yourself because it does have really good overpower and crit damage rolls. Basic attack is also still useless on the Druid, like you never use it. So ideal rolls would be, obviously, vulnerable, crit damage, overpower, and of course crowd controlled enemies. These 4 are your ideal rolls on the Druid. And again, Druid's affixes are very limited. You never touch basic attack on the Druid because basic attack is not a damage dealer for you. Druid never uses that. As I mentioned in other videos, right, what the basic attack is designed for is it's called a builder. It's called a builder because all it does is build spirit, and that's all you want to use it for. You never use it for the damage. So enhancing its damage is literally pointless. Yeah. Hey, G-Star. River Archer, good to see you, man. Andy, hello, welcome. So, okay, we just cleared out 11 levels higher, 10 levels higher. Shall we go 12 levels higher? You know what, let's go 12 levels higher. If I die, I die. I really don't care. So let's do it. Time to have some fun. Like, Rogue is so strong that I can literally ignore Helltide because you don't even need to gear. You know? Yeah, no problem, newbie. I'm happy to help because now I've, like, literally perfectly understood all of this stuff, and I tell you, I'm gonna hit, you know, I'm gonna hit it. You did complete Capstone dungeon for World Tier 4, but you died after 10 times. Okay, that means you're either under-leveled, Andy, or your build is not prepared. Okay, you can do the Capstone early, but don't do it early if you're gonna die, bro. I do it early because I've got perfect gear, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't mean that you must attempt the Capstone for World Tier 4, because if you're not ready for it, if you die even once during the Capstone, it means come and try again after one more level and after you get better gear. Because if you want to survive in World Tier 4, you must never die in the Capstone dungeon. Okay, this is very, very important. This is extremely crucial. Because even then, like with my Barbarian, even in the showcase where I did it 10 levels early, right, I died once. And I knew at that point that I was not going to be able to do the Capstone dungeon. Like, I was not going to be able to handle World Tier 4 until I geared up a bit. So I actually farmed in World Tier 3 even after completing it. And that's very crucial because if you go in too early, you're going to just do nothing in World Tier 4. So it's very important to be able to last because the Capstone dungeon is 3 levels lower than World Tier 4. And the monsters are still only World Tier 3 stats, which is why, you know, you got to be very prepared. Don't go into World Tier 4, dude. There's nothing wrong with leveling slower. Like, although I showcase crazy things on stream, it doesn't mean that you guys have to follow that. Like, this is after so much experience in the game, like understanding all this kind of stuff. So, I can easily battle 12 levels above me on the Rogue because I have perfect stats on this. Like, almost all my equipment, every single piece of equipment that I have right now is God rolled, almost. So, I literally have no trouble doing all this. But it doesn't mean that it's the same standard for other people. You get what I mean? So don't push yourself if you cannot, you know, handle it. like just relax, take it easy, take your time. It's important to take your time sometimes, because if you don't, then you're gonna have a worse time playing the game. My honest answer, Brian, is that the Rogue and the Barb are about equal. They are both two of the strongest classes in the game. Necro is the ultimate strongest, unfortunately, because Bone Spear Necro is literally unbeatable. If you're talking about my class tier list, I would say Necro is at the top. Then, and I screwed up my Necro, which is the only reason I'm not playing one. But Season 1, my first character is going to be Necro again, because the Bone Spear Necro is one of the strongest in the game due to the ability to inflict vulnerable on demand. Rogue and Barb can also inflict vulnerable on demand via Twisting Blades build, or in fact any Rogue build can do it. Then the Barb can do it with a Whirlwind build. So right now the key to the entire game, right, is vulnerable damage. Whichever class can inflict vulnerable damage on demand and consistently without requires the minimum aspects is the highest tier class. That's why the Necro is the top tier, because the Necro only has 0 required aspects in the early and mid game. Of course, late game they have required aspects, uniques, things like that, but all classes have that. The Necro is the easiest to get going. Then the Rogue and the Barb are the strongest late game. Last but not least, you've got the Druid. The Druid is exceptional because obviously with the Storm Wolf build, it has vulnerables on demand. Like my Pulverized Werebear, I love it, but it doesn't inflict vulnerable natural other than with the Exploit Glyph. So now that I've got my Exploit Glyph up and running, I do inflict vulnerables, which is really, really great, but it's still a bit less than the Storm Wolf, although I'm tanky as hell. So once I weighed all that up, I realized that, you know, the key to really succeeding is having minimum uniques required, and the uniques must not be in the chest or pants slot. Unfortunately for the Druid, one of their uniques that they require is in the chest slot, which means that you are down 1 defensive aspect, which is again sad, and the other one is in the helmet. If you have one in the helmet but not in the chest, that's okay. So Necros, one required unique is in the helmet slot, Deathless Visage. So that one is okay because you can still have 2 defensive aspects, chest and pants, which means that the Necro would be practically on the same level as the Rogue in terms of damage and the ability to inflict vulnerable. Barbarian has no required uniques, which is even better, and it has the most legendary aspects in the game. So Barbarian is one of the strongest, but the problem is that the only way for the Barbarian to inflict vulnerable is Whirlwind build. Innate. So yeah. Of course you can, the Druid can inflict tons of vulnerable, but the problem is their defense. That's why for most Druids, right, we were forced to go Pulverized Werebear, because we have no real way of inflicting vulnerable on demand. And if we combo into Hurricane, then we are forced to go Storm Wolf. You see what I mean? If you go Pulverized Werebear, you should not be using Hurricane, because ultimately, as good as it appears, it will create a lack of synergy once you get into World Tier 4 and some of the upper level fights. It becomes a major struggle. So that can be pretty problematic. Also, you'd be losing out one of your unstoppables or your survival skills. So it's a tough one. It's a really tough one. It's a very tough dilemma. Whereas Necro, Rogue, Barbarian are free of those dilemmas. Because everything, and the Rogue, right? The reason why the Rogue is so strong is that the Rogue has the best innate healing. The Rogue has the best innate healing because the Rogue doesn't, like, I can just heal by dealing crits in close proximity. Every other class has a condition for healing. Rogue does not. Sure, I might get one shot, you know, in the bad situation, but most of the time, I don't have to worry. And this is, like I said, I'm doing all this without perfect defense on my chest piece. Is that a butcher? I hear the butcher. Let's fight. Guys, I'm about to fight a butcher 12 levels higher. You guys ready? Are you ready to see my Rogue take this guy out, huh? on, Butchie. What you gonna do? What you gonna do to me? What you gonna do to me? I told you, best innate healing in the game. Smoke. Easy. Easy. I'm not even threatened by the butcher. 12 levels higher, no problem. And if somebody doesn't mind, clip that for me. Clip that for me and just tag me on social media. Twitter, Instagram is all okay. Thank you. It's that easy. Rogue should not use uniques, to be fair. Rogue has all of Rogue's uniques are pretty much useless. Don't use them. Because for the Rogue, it's way better to roll your affixes. Like I said, even Condemnation, if you got a perfect sword, I would not touch it with a 10-foot pole. Just because the affixes are better. That's how crucial affixes are, and it's why it's such an advantage to have perfect affixes. Condemnation's not bad, it's just that there are better choices. Like I mentioned to you in the comment, if I had a perfect sword, I wouldn't give up. I wouldn't run Condemnation. And you are more likely to find a perfect sword that you can put a legendary aspect on, either for offensive or defensive purposes, but most likely offensive, obviously, because it's a sword. Unless you want to use one of your ring affixes for defense, that's also possible. But yeah. Yeah, nothing wrong with having a go-to. Everyone's got a preference. But I'm just gonna tell you straight up, like I said, Rogue is too strong. Rogue is too strong. There is no reason not to have a Rogue. Thank you, Bravo. I appreciate that. Look at that, my main man Bravo came through. I'll post it to Discord too. Oh, that's okay. It's only because I wanted to remember the like the time around about, so I can just showcase it if when I update the Rogue build. So, oops, shit. There it is. Gotta edit my post in the Discord. Thank you, Bravo. You lovely man. Yeah. By the way, how you doing? This is Bravo. He's one of my earliest supporters and also an all-round swell guy. He has literally supported me for years, man. I would not be doing streaming right now if not for this man having faith in me all those years ago. Just so you know, this is the man. This is the man that made Asian Robot possible. Him and Kaz are literally amongst my earliest supporters. Regardless, thank you very much. Alright, so y'all don't know him. This is my main man right here. Yep. Well, Boog's also one of our OGs. All of these people I met during a very different time of my existence, but it was very good. Very happy to have met them all. All the OG supporters. River Archer is one of them too. He's always here. Thank you for subscribing, Brian. But yeah, anyway, so Condemnation is not bad because it does have really good, it has 2 good basic affixes and the unique ability is great. So if you don't have anything better at the time, you can absolutely run a Condemnation. But if you've got 4, like for example, your sword can roll with 4 affixes. If you happen to have a sword with 4 perfect affixes, just put a legendary aspect on it, a useful one, and you're good to go. Because there's quite a few that can boost rogue damage. So that's what I would do. I would only use Condemnation if I don't have anything better at the time. Let me have a look at this. Yeah, this, like for example, this sword only rolled 1 good affix, so I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Lol, I'm just gonna keep this unique. I've got the Butcher's Cleaver as well. I'm gonna have like a stash tab where I just store all the uniques eventually. Considering you knew me during that time, Boog, you count as OG. Everyone from that era is OG, I tell you that much. But yeah, I'm just like, Rogue is just so good. Like, I don't know how anyone can like just not love just how strong the Rogue is. It's unbelievable. That was a level 56 Rogue that killed a level 57 Butcher. You know, did not give a fuck, just literally destroyed him absolutely. You know, he stood. The fight wasn't even close. The Butcher literally stood no chance. I increased the number of potions that I had at the end of the fight. There's no other class that can do that. Okay, you've seen it live on stream right now. I murdered that Butcher 12 levels higher, and I ended the fight with full 9 out of 9 potions. Okay, there's no other class at level 56 that can do that other than Necro, Bone Necro. Even Barb cannot do that. Barb can do it about 10, 11 levels higher, depending on the affixes you roll on gear, and of course, your defensive capabilities. But yeah, no, there's no other class that can do that. The thing is, the Rogue's Twisting Blades is the closest to a vampire build that you'll get, because you already heal on any crits made within close range, and it's 3% of life per crit, which means you have the highest healing in the game. Oh, Mr. Ruben, can we kindly ask you never to mention the game Dauntless? Because the reason for that is that, in case you didn't know, I am now a partner with Nexon Korea as well. They are an Asian company, and Dauntless devs unfortunately supported racism towards Asians via their partner. So because of that, although I will not take down my old videos because that's the money that I earned with my blood, sweat, and tears, we do not allow mention of Dauntless on the channel just to safeguard our current partners, and we don't want them associated. Yeah, no, don't worry. I'm just letting you know because I know you didn't know the rule. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. We just, we want to stay away from that because, yeah, racism is a terrible, terrible thing. And unfortunately, Dauntless devs have made their choice. And, what this decision will unfortunately color the devs' careers from now on, because they chose to support a racist instead of supporting a victim. They didn't even apologize to the victim, me. They didn't respond to our emails, no matter how many we sent to them. It just, it was a bad situation. So yeah, I'm just glad I don't have to deal with that anymore. Oh, it's okay. I'd rather tell people manually rather than having the word banned for no reason, because then people won't know the reason. You see, and I think it is also good if I take the opportunity to try and inform as many people as possible, because ultimately, as a company, Phoenix Labs needs their player base to understand that, there is no... They cannot be allowed to just, be the way they are and carry on. Like, that cannot be permitted, because if that is allowed to go on, then that is not healthy or helpful to anybody, and that is dangerous. So yeah, for that reason, I'd rather just tell people manually. That way, at least they know the story behind it, and it's not just a random banned word that nobody understands why, So that's why. You know what's funny, right? I'm seeing so many articles from all those game review websites that are talking about how all 5 classes got buffed in the latest patch. Like, bro, the top builds didn't change. They only buffed some useless skills, and they were minor buffs in the first place. I mean, a couple of things were good, but like, it's like so minor, but like everybody's like clickbaiting and saying, oh my god, these are the best buffs ever. I'm like, okay, bro, you do you, bro. Oh lord, I love video game journalists. They're fucking morons. But I guess without them, the world would come to a halt, since you need them to be weird. If the weirdos don't exist, then the beardos cannot. Oh my god, look, these pants rolled perfect. They are literally just 1 item point away, bro. These pants literally rolled perfect, but they are 1 item power away from being the next level up. But these are good pants. These are good pants. If I had any more alts to roll, I would give these pants to them, because this is really, really good. This is really good. But I'm gonna have to wait for even more perfect pants. Such a shame. This is really, really strong. Yeah, pretty much, Ruben. So I'm just glad you don't play anymore, because there's no point in supporting that company. Yeah, pretty much. I can, but okay, so there's something called an item tier list, Bravo, meaning that in order for these pants to hit the next tier, it has to roll higher than 700 item power. It's one off. If you hit 700 item power, right, and you upgrade it 5 times, it gets plus 25 to the item power, which bumps it up to the next tier, because the final tier, the ancestral tier, is actually 725. So 725 is the next tier list, and I'll actually cover this in a video in season 1, because it's not so important for preseason, but in season 1, this is one of the major things that I'm going to cover, and it's really important to understand how the item tiers work and where the breakpoints are. So if you know where the item breakpoints are, 700 is the key, which is why this one would forever remain 1 tier lower. It would reach 724, which means that it's just literally 1 item power point away from going to the next one. So that's the only sad thing, but other than that, you know, it's okay. Like these pants are good, but I can wait for an ancestral set. What I'm really looking for is a chess piece. I need a chess piece that has damage reduction close and damage reduction distant, which I still haven't found to this day and age, but I'm willing to wait because I've got plenty of levels to go, so I'm relaxed, you know? See, I'm not too worried on that.
Very nice.
Yeah, I love knowing these item breakpoints because it's so it makes like grinding for World Tier 4 so easy. That's why when I'm in World Tier 4, right, the next breakpoint that I'm seeking is the ultimate 825. Of course, there is no higher tier, but I think that once a bit more of the game is like implemented and stuff, right, they will definitely make the next tier 850, I reckon. So the perfect 825 is the ideal for the end game, of course. Now I'm just gonna use my sorcerer's bit for this. Yeah, you have to have an aspect to inflict vulnerable, which is so annoying, and it's a chance as well. Gonna toss out useless things that I don't need. Ever-living defensive aspect. Oh yeah, this is pretty good, defensively speaking. Ooh, this is exploiters. I'm actually so tempted. It requires level 59 though. I may bring it out at a later time. No. So only the pants will reach like the affixes of the gear. This is one example. See the sword? This sword was rolled 702, right? So when you plus 25, it'll basically have much higher affix rolls, even upgraded. Even if I were to fully upgrade a sword, it wouldn't reach the same affix rolls that this one has. And this is with this one rolled some of the lowest affixes possible, you see? So if I had rolled the highest possible affixes and then upgraded it, like this sword would be this sword would be truly legendary, but I just used whatever I could find. So ideally you just want to roll a sword that has like 700 plus, and then it'll take it to the equivalent of higher tier gear. But of course, an actual ancestral sword with high base rolls. See, that is 14.3. That's literally the minimum for crowd control. If I had rolled like the highest on an ancestral, it would still be able to go higher than this sacred, because sacred is also a limiting factor. But by using item power cleverly, you can sort of like twink your gear a bit higher than it should be, you see? So that's the ideal for gearing up. That's why you see, again with gloves, I've met, this is a relatively low roll, but this is how I've got 10% critical strike chance on these gloves way before when I should. So yeah, this is basically how to trick out your gear. By knowing the item breakpoints, you can just twink it. Yes, that's why okay, so first step, right, newbie, is having ideal rolls. By the way, hi Walt. Welcome to the stream. You want to have ideal rolls. So the first thing, like, okay, let me use this crossbow as an example. First off, this one has 4 ideal rolls for me. Okay, well, okay, I should say 3 ideal rolls, but the reason is because close and distant, if you have them both, it creates this it's the equivalent of having pure damage. So close and distant together is like having one affix that says pure damage plus 40 whatever percent, which is really high. Then I wanted slowed enemies, crowd controlled enemies, because I can inflict these two statuses constantly. So that means that these two are also perfect rolls. The innate vulnerable damage on the crossbow, which you will always have on a crossbow, is also a perfect roll, because that one never changes, right? So the first step I look at is, okay, this one has literally 3 perfect affixes for me. That means that this is ideal. So any other crossbow would have to, for me to replace this, would have to be a higher item power, so 700 minimum, and then it would have to have at least 3 perfect affix rolls. So 1 perfect affix roll would be like crit damage, the other one would be like pure damage, maybe vulnerable damage even more, you know, added on, because I inflict that constantly. So that would be how I judge my equipment. Then after that, I look at the individual rolls themselves. So if another crossbow came along and it had 3 perfect rolls, I would say, okay, so what's the range of the roll? By having advanced tooltips on, you can see what is the ultimate range. So for example, this one would like roll, if this one had rolled like 40 something for slowed enemies, that would be closer to the perfect range. So then you'd be able to say, okay, so this one is more perfect. But this one, as you can see, is close to max for 3 rolls. So that means basically effectively 2 affixes out of the 3 that I mentioned before, because close and distant count as pure damage, right? So 2 of the affixes are close to perfect, 1 affix is low. But if I had another crossbow that had 4 perfect affixes and 4 of them were rolled high, then that would be the replacement for this, you see? So that's how it works. So first you look at the item tier. So item tier first, then the number of good affixes, then after that the range of the affixes. Then that's how you determine which gear is better than which gear, and this is my mental process for checking any kind of gear before I equip it. So I always assess, okay, so how helpful is this? Then you gotta know, if you want to go even more in depth than that, you have to learn which is multiplicative and which is added together. So for example, damage close and distant is all raw damage. Raw damage is in a bucket by itself. Then crit damage is in a separate bucket, vulnerable is in a separate bucket, which is why ideally, if you wanted to roll god roll for all your gear, right? Everything, now first of all, you're gonna have to have 4 affixes on it, right? 2 of those should be vulnerable crit damage. Then the other 2 can be raw damage. This is the ideal across the board. If you have a vulnerable and crit damage together, that is basically pumping up the 2 multiplicative buckets. Then the raw damage pumps up your base, so that your base gets multiplied by the vulnerable and crits even more. And then that is basically how you can create super insane damage builds. And that's just literally how we do it. So there's nothing special about it. I gotta go to the washroom for a second, all right, before I carry on my adventure. But, okay, don't do anything I wouldn't do while I'm gone, okay? Boog and Bravo are in charge of chat. Don't set anything on fire. I'll be back very soon. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I am back. Hello, Jose, but Jose, please do not try and recruit from my channel. Okay, it's very disrespectful to the streamer. If you want to ask any of those questions, Jose, first of all, you're going in timeout. You have to be a member of the clan. Okay? If you're not a member of the clan, please do not come here and try and recruit from my channel. That is not only disrespectful to the streamer, that is against stream rules. Come and get to know us first, then you can come around and talk to us about recruitment and that kind of stuff, okay? You want help with Nightmare Dungeon and stuff? Sure, you can join the clan. And if anyone in the clan is about your level, they might be able to help you, but if you're not a part of the clan, please do not come to my stream and try to recruit people or that kind of stuff. It's considered rude and very disrespectful to the streamer, okay? You want to do that? Why don't you go to Wudijo's stream and you can do that there and see how far you get, okay? Don't try and disrespect me just because I am a smaller time streamer. It is not cool, dude. Okay? Okay, I'm glad you understand that. Matthew, thank you for subscribing. Welcome. And newbie, I'm happy to help you on learning about all that gear. Yep. If you want to ask about what I would reroll versus not reroll, my answer to that would be like, okay, so for example, let's take a look at this gloves, right? So if you notice on my screen, there is a blue thing here next to the crit strike chance. So I actually re-rolled my crit strike chance because attack speed is less of a concern for me than crit strike chance. Crit strike chance is the main stat. So I didn't care about the other stats that I rolled on this. So I tried to roll, because I just wanted like as close to perfect stats as possible. So what I did was I re-rolled my crit strike chance because it already rolled crit strike chance on these gloves, but it had a really low roll, so it was at like 4.5. So I rolled up and then I finally managed to get it to 10.5, so it was all good. And as for the person I just banned, listen, if I'm one annoying host, too late for you. You can go watch somebody else while you're here. Right? Alright. We got a world boss in 11 minutes. Let's go bum around PvP. Because if there's 11 minutes to go, I may as well go relax. I do want to smoke the world boss, but I'll chill out here first. Oh yeah. Anyone starts doing well, there's always people like that. Like I said, I don't give a damn. They can do whatever they want to do. But stream rules are stream rules. If you wouldn't do it, like my honest statement to anybody is that if you wouldn't do it to XQC or if you wouldn't do it to Pokimane, all right, don't come here and do that. I would just re-roll as needed. You know, I always re-roll. Like if I have a need for it, basically it's on a needs basis. Like if I feel that I need it, then I will absolutely re-roll. Because there's no point in not re-rolling, you know. But re-rolling does have a gold cost, so I would check first of all, do I have enough gold, and is it necessary for me to re-roll it? I re-roll all the time. Like there's no determinant for whether I should re-roll or I shouldn't re-roll. You know what I'm saying? It's just that if I think that the piece of gear is ideal for my purposes, I'll just re-roll it, even if it's only got one affix that I need. Like for example, those gloves, right? In the World Tier 3 stage, you don't really need perfect gloves with like skill plus whatever, because you will have to farm that really slowly. So in that early stage, I'm just like, okay, well I don't need the skill plus or whatever. Meaning that my gloves only determinant is crit chance and attack speed, and I'd already rolled crit chance and attack speed. I just wanted a higher roll on crit chance, and it rolled like at 700 already. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let's go re-roll it to something higher, you know? And that's just what I did. I think one level after you did Granny Kneecaps, I did it at level 47, but it was like so easy that, you know, I should have done it earlier. But then again, I was waiting for gear. But yeah, I did it about level 47. Then as soon as I got in, now I'm fighting like 12 levels higher. Rogue too strong. Legit. By the way, hi, how you doing? And thank you to everybody keeping the sound on. Alright, we appreciate y'all. Oh, that 10.5 mil goes by fast if you keep re-rolling stats. Like, because I always end up like constantly re-rolling for good stuff. So yeah. That is the pain, man. That's the pain. Hi, how you doing, Trey? Welcome, welcome. This game is super fun, and I thoroughly enjoy it. It's been quite the blessing for my channel, I gotta say. So it's very, very good. Of course, there are the fair share of trolls and people that come around trying to act up, you know. But you know, I let them do whatever they want to do. I let them be the way they want to be, you know. And that's how they want to be. But I'm always relaxed. Like unless somebody breaks the rules, you know, I got no big problems. Like if people respect the rules, you know, chill out, have a good time with me, then I'm okay. If they don't want to, then to me it doesn't even matter. Like it doesn't even matter. Like even if I had no viewers and like the one viewer that I had disrespected the rules, they would still be kicked out. Like I might love viewership for the rent, but I'm not so desperate that I allow my chat to devolve into chaos or be used by others. Like, sorry, I've got more self-respect and pride than that. But I'm glad that the people that do believe in me, you know, always believe in me, and, you know, they give me plenty of love, even without all that shenanigans. That's why I feel comfortable, you know, like, just relaxing, doing my own thing, keeping to my own standards. Because I've seen it so many times. Like people, like I've seen the Japanese streamers that have like 300, 400 people watching their stream, right? The people there are super respectful, and unless they're in the clan, you know, they don't try and recruit or do anything like that. Like, you know, they're all very respectful, and the mods will just take out those people so fast. I know this because I was literally watching several of these Japanese streamers to get my Twitch drops, and I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. It was very nice to see how their streams would run, and I was like, yeah, sure. I may not be a VTuber, but you know, one day I'm gonna get to that level, you know? Yeah, I'd rather create a nice place for my community to hang, where my community knows that, you know, they're gonna be respected and, you know, treated decently. I think that that is much more crucial and much more important. Okay. Alright, let's sit here. How much time to the world boss? 5 minutes. Plenty of time. I'm so tempted, I swear, like on the rogue, if I was like the only thing that I would give up defenses for is temerity. If I found a randomly high roll temerity, like I could give up defenses for that, just because it's great for, like, it would be my PvP pants. I'd have a PvE pants and a PvP pants, because temerity is so hilarious. Like, you can overheal into a barrier, and it's just so good. And just like that, 6,000 seeds are mine. Okay, let's go Trio Whispers. Whee! But you know, regardless of all the shenanigans, I always see our viewership growing. So thank you, everybody, for always being awesome. Okay, any good rolls here? Nope, those are terrible rolls. Those, I guess you could call them crunchy rolls, eh? Hey. I need this Ravager's aspect, so I'm gonna extract that. This one sucks, so I don't really care. This one has 3 good rolls. but it is way weaker item power wise. The DPS is nope. Item power plays a high part of DPS, so I cannot give up DPS per second, unfortunately, no matter how good the rolls are. Shame. I'll toss those out in a bit.
It is done.
Yeah, you shouldn't worry about PvP zone, especially as a rogue. Rogue is the strongest in PvP. You can smoke anybody anytime, so don't even worry. Did I finally get the combat glyph? Oh, thank frick. I can start using this right away. Combat. Wait. Is that one of my necessary glyphs? Let me check. I need to go see my planner. Planner. Do we use combat? Oh, we do, but in the late game stage. Because yeah, it is intelligence. Still, I can level it up alongside exploit. I have a feeling that both of these will be useful. But I'll probably keep leveling up exploit first, just so I can drop it early if I need to. You know what? I'm gonna extract this one and I'm gonna chuck it into the this random sword. Just for the giggles. Okay. Time we carried on.
There's that.
A fine deal.
I also always check rings in case they come with perfect rolls. But if they don't, oh well.
Thank you.
Okay, it's about time for the world boss. I don't want to miss it, so travel to core back. No problem, Critter. Happy to help. PvP areas are great though. I don't attack anybody. I only play a defensive game. So, but I do like it when some of the less aware higher levels try and PvP you. And then like if they don't have perfect stats, they just die off. It's so funny. Smacking down, I still live off the glory of Vasco. He was a level 69 Necro that fought my level 58 Barb and lost horribly to Hammer of the Ancients. He just got a hammer straight down multiple times on stream. It was great.
Greetings.
Hello.
Oh my god, look at these people trying to greet people. That's gross, bro. No thank you. No thank you. Booyah. Booyah. Okay, let's see whether these guys are worth anything. I'm ready to smoke this boss in seconds. But I hope everybody's doing good today. We are gonna rock. It is a beautiful Thursday morning. And I do love Thursday mornings. Also today, my night stream will be late. Just so you know. The reason is because today is Hari Raya. And my relatives are Islamic, so we are going to be celebrating today. And we're gonna have a good time. But yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I should change the inner sight. Whoops. Remember that around Ashava and the like, right? You should be spamming inner sight. Why? Because it makes taking out the boss a lot faster. Like against a single target boss, right? You must always spam inner sight It'll make your bossing very, very quick. Which is basically my entire plan right now. I saw the other rogue using it, I was like, okay. I know, right? But I mean, if you're constantly fighting above your level, you'll level fast enough. There you go.
I appreciate that.
Ooh, efficient.
Ooh, this one has accelerating aspect. That's nice. I'll go extract that as well. Let's go see what these other things do. This sigil, level tier 6. Lol. Okay, weak. Let's go back. No problem, Bravo. Thank you so much for hanging out this morning. Appreciate that. But yeah, never be afraid in the PvP zone. It's okay. You guys will be perfectly fine. PvP is nothing, guys. It's nothing. It's just like for chilling. Okay. Do I already have accelerating aspect here? No, I do not. Let me see. What are the aspects that I need? Have that. I still don't have exploiters aspect. I need good retribution aspect, which is fine. Okay. So let's start extracting. This one I don't need. Extract that. And then let's try by putting this on. Let's go boost our core damage, shall we? Then, just for the giggles, just for the lulls, Ravagers will extract, just in case. And this one will extract for the lulls. I'll throw it on another sword. And the rest are okay. Rest are nothing major. For me, I wouldn't, because I am focused on only physical damage. The shadow is just a minor enhancer, so if a lot of your skills deal physical, like increase physical damage dealt, so that's why I don't worry about my abumens too much, because otherwise you'd have to separate the kind of damage you deal, and that's not always useful. But if you figure out a way to synergize it, you know, go ahead, but I think it'll be weaker than pure focus. Like, the minimum number of things you have to focus on, the better. So that's why, for me, right, I only choose to focus on very, very limited things. I'm like, okay, you know what? Just these few. That's good enough. Okay, now. I can't remember what was the last tier that I did, but fuck it. Shall we go into a I think a tier 14 should be fine. Onyx hold, yeah, let's go. No Helltide spawning. So let's go. Hey, Solar, what's up? You're back on running early? So, is this not the normal time that you run at? By the way, how you doing? I am pushing my rogue to the absolute limits right now. Just seeing what I can really do. But it's been super fun. How about you? How's your gaming been going, Solar? I see, so this is like early gaming for you. Nice. More gaming time is always beautiful. On you, dude. Rogue is stupidly strong. If you can keep up, sure, no problem. Just request to join my party. And you're good to go. Like I said, the only thing I ask is that you don't deviate from my loot routes so that I don't miss any loot. But other than that, hey, you can come along. Yeah, I'm fighting about 11 or 12 levels higher. But I think you're a rogue as well, so you should be fine. That is very strange. Okay, tell you what, I will, I'll add you as a friend, see if that changes things. Because it makes no sense to me that people shouldn't be able to, like, people cannot do that. Let me finish these waves, yeah? Aw, man. That last guy was hidden somewhere. Oh well. Okay, from the clan. Hang on, I'm just gonna add you as friend. After I add you as a friend, right? See if you can. If you still can't, then I'll just invite you. But it's really weird because pretty much anybody should be able to request join party. I've like legit always been able to do that. I think Josh was able to do it yesterday, even without being my friend. But yeah, let me know if it works after you get added as a friend. Maybe there's some strange settings that prevent that. Tracker wolf. Still do not need. And thank you to everybody keeping the sound on, means a lot. Did it work, Solar? Okay. 1 second then. Let me just chuck that in there. Check my things again. Combat, exploit, Ship. And closer. Okay. Alright. Did you add me as a friend though? Because if you haven't added me as a friend, that might be why. Make sure you add me as a friend. It is though, because I do it all the time with Kaz. So it could be because he is not on my friends list. As in, I just sent him a friend request, but I don't think he got... See, I sent him a friend request there. If you accept my friend request, you should be able to. Because we've done it on Overwatch. Blizzard has always had this feature. So it could just be because we're not friends yet. Once we are friends, it should allow you to do that. Because he's not on my friends list. Yeah. Because request to join party, like, it does exist. But it's also kind of strange because I'm pretty sure Josh was able to do it yesterday. Unless I'm wrong, but in which case it's fine. If it's friends only, then, you know, we learn. Oh, hey, finally, closer. Jesus Christ. That took a dragon age to get. Okay, finally. I can swap things over. I might lose a bit of DPS, but that's okay. Closer, where are you? Excuse me. I need more dexterity because this one is useful for the DR, so I'm gonna focus all my points on grabbing some dexterity. Some posterity will be very useful. I think I might just grab this 50 armor and grab this. I want to get the minimum amount of intelligence. Because as much as it's useful, I do not want it. Oh well, I guess I should a little bit. Just for some of these others. Grr. I do have enough armor. Well, I can always mod the build later. Yep, my clan is open to everybody. It's called Robot Nation. We have always been called Robot Nation across all the games that we play, right? So our tag is always RBNT. And we welcome anybody. Just tell me that you've sent a application in and we're good to go. But of course, all the normal rules apply. Don't do anything that's against terms of service, and if you behave badly, we will happily kick you. But like on the flip side, we're very chill. So, you know, obviously don't break any rules, and always attend streams if you can. The only requirement is that you come hang out with the fam on streams. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah, basically be a good human. Actually, I should change the clan message, but I'll do that when I'm back in town. And of course, if you happen to be a similar level to the character that I'm running, you can feel free to come along, so long as you can keep up. You'd be surprised though how many times, right? Like being a good human is difficult for people. La 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 la. I ignore the blood blisters if they get too far. Please be cursed. Please be cursed. I'm gonna let this one explode so I can... Aw, I wanted to touch the healing well. Oh well, doesn't matter. If you see a healing well, right, Solar, and you get wounded, just try and touch it so that you can take the damage and see if it's cursed. Because if it's cursed, we get additional rewards. So always take some damage and, you know, grab a healing well that you see. If you see one, right, forcefully force yourself to take damage, then just touch it. See if you can get a cursed one. Because it's so good when we get cursed ones. This is how to maximize loot. Don't be sleeping on the loot. Of course, if there's no curse well around, take out the blood blisters as well. But yeah, actually that reminds me, I do have to change the clan message to attend streams when you can. Because the old clan message was different. The old clan message said it didn't matter if you did, but that was when we were much smaller. So now I think it'd be a good thing if we tried to get people more involved. Closing. What's the one? As much as I love exploit, closer is probably a good idea. Okay, let's head back. This is okay, but not really something that I want more. Okay, no good. The hunt for perfect stats is on. No good. No good. No good. No good. No good.
Good salvage.
Nope. Nope. Okay.
It is a deal. Live well, my friend.
When? Yep, okay, good. There we go. So yeah, anyone can request to join Robot Nation. There it is. RBNT Robot Nation, you see this, and you'll see Asian Robot, and there you go. Like I said, we've got 0 requirements, so feel free to come in anytime, anywhere. Let's go see what kind of sigils I have. Tier 15 is no problem. I don't have Shadow Plunge open. Shadow Plunge and Hawazar. Where is Shadow Plunge then? It should be around here, actually. Give me a sec, my dude. I'm gonna go find Shadow Plunge. It should be in Virez or wherever. Because I recall it, so I need to go and clear the stronghold, I think. Let me go see if I can find it. Because I refuse to miss out on a dungeon. Just because I don't have the area open or some silly nonsense like that. Hey, pencil check. Okay, after you've been accepted, all you gotta do is go back to the clan window and actually enter. Yep, no problem. Welcome. Like I said, we welcome all. Where's the bloody stronghold? I will find it. It's definitely around here somewhere. Give me a moment, yeah, I'm just gonna... If you want to do your own thing for a little while, Solar, until I find the stronghold, you can. But I just want to make sure I have them all. Because although it does, like, allow us to just teleport to dungeons, it will deny this if we don't have the stronghold open. So I better go open up the stronghold wherever it is. Let me know if any hell tides pop up. I technically do have to go farm one. Virez is somewhere. Maybe it's down there, actually. I'll just quickly check here, and if it's not here, I'll head down. Yep, okay, it's definitely down. Right, not a problem. I'll teleport there in a second. To get past all these random yahoos. I hate this stupid, like, discover renown shenanigans every single time. Okay. Alright. There. I want to go there. Let's gallop. How much classes I got? One of each. Knowledge is the key, my dude. Season 1 starting soon. So, I want perfect knowledge before I go into it. If you don't have perfect knowledge, then can't really create content, can you? Unless you want to be the type of person that lies to their audience, and I don't, so... You do have to finish, yeah, finishing renown for Paragon points is always a bit of a pain, but it's something that's super necessary because that way you don't have to worry about it for Season 1. That's why I recommend you haven't done it now, get it all done now, you know? And then you can hit it on Season 1
Something rots this place.
without a problem. We are now in Virez. Okay, great. I'm gonna clear Virez so we can get Shadow Plunge open. Only will take me a moment. Yep. Yeah, you should always do all your altars, all your renown, all that kind of stuff, because the bonuses are huge. But unfortunately, doing that grind, right, totally messes up your first character because you end up undergeared. So I'm glad I did it on my Necro, but that's why my Necro went dead in the water, because I realized later on that, you know, and restructuring a build past level 50 is super, super difficult as well. So that's why next season, I've got certain things that I'm going to change about how I instruct people, how I share knowledge, but it's going to be good. All of it is going to make things more streamlined and smooth.
Must be here for a reason. I should see if there are more like it.
Okay, these random statues. La 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 la. This one has not been updated yet, but you can take a look at my easy and mid-game rogue build literally 2 videos ago. So that'll guide you through the early and mid-game to show you what you're doing. You can follow it to practically get to roughly the same level. Where's the last one? Is it down here? Oh, you cleared this area. There it is. Yes, I have. It's a shit game. I hate it. Path of Exile is trashed here. Which is why the PoE losers are so annoyed with Diablo 4, because they know that PoE 2 can't compete. They're either going to have to clone Diablo 4 and make it free, which is going to be a big L for them, or, you know, they have to stick to their guns and lose out, because Diablo 4 has already created the perfect casual experience. I could be wrong, but I rarely am. Because the more experience that I have in the game industry, the more I realize certain things are very hard to replicate or clone. And that's why the originals tend to still be like popular to this very day. I mean, Path of Exile is a free version of Diablo 2, but people still played Diablo 2 Resurrected like nobody's business. Nothing wrong with that, man. Like, not every class is for everybody. I like Rogue, but yeah, it is more if you like the fast button pressing and stuff like that. But I tell you, it's ruined my mouse, bro. I need to get it. PoE 2 will be free, I think. But if they just make a free version of Diablo 4, that's still gonna be a major cop-out. You see? So that's what I'm saying though. Path of Exile has always been free, but the issue is that if they're gonna make it free, then they're gonna have to basically clone Diablo, which is never gonna be good. Diablo has many advantages because it has a price tag, kind of like how Overwatch always had a price tag over the competition. Of course, free is attractive to many people, you know, but at the end of the day, it's going to end up as a Diablo. I think if they really want to do well, it's going to end up as a Diablo 4 clone, which is what I'm envisioning.
It's over.
My barb didn't put out 2 mil until he was level 69 or so. So don't feel like your output is not matching mine, dude. I didn't start putting out 2 mil till I was close to 70. If your barb is only level 56, because I'm on a rogue right now. I don't know if you're referring to my barb level or my rogue level, but if you're referring to my rogue level, at around 56, I was only hitting about 500k or so on the barb, so don't worry about it. This is my rogue hits even less, but of course rogue does it faster, so. Now I can activate Shattered Plunge. Let's go! Hang on, wait, did I get anything good? No, I didn't. Okay, never mind. Let's go! But yeah, for the barb, I only started putting out about 2 mil much later on. But yeah, Path of Exile 2 will definitely be free, because if they try to sell it, it's not going to sell any copies. In fact, many games that are free to play have actually gone under, because it's hard to beat originals even if you're free, unless you have something that's so revolutionary. Path of Exile at the time was revolutionary because it was a live service game, but now Diablo 4 is live service. Okay, and it still beat out Diablo 3 because Diablo 3 wasn't exactly live service. Diablo 4 is live service, which is very different. So like I said, Path of Exile 2 is definitely going to have to either copy Diablo 4, because what Diablo 4 has done is very smart. They've made very good systems and copied the best parts of Path of Exile, i.e. the seasonal stuff, all that kind of things. They took all that. I mean, they had their own seasonal stuff, but Diablo 3 started going in the direction of Path of Exile because Path of Exile was hella popular, and the Diablo 4 peeps knew it. They also learned a lot from Diablo Immortals, you know, and that's why I'm very glad that they didn't, you know, carry over a lot of pay-to-win systems. And of course, there's still some concern after Diablo Immortal, but overall, they've done a very good job. So I'm very much looking forward to how they run this, and you know what the result's going to be for Path of Exile 2. My money right now is on the fact that it's going to fail compared to Diablo 4, because they're, like I said, they're either going to have to stick to their guns and pretend that the differences of their, like, that they can be different and still win, or they're gonna have to clone Diablo 4 effectively, and Path of Exile 2 is just gonna end up as like the free-to-play copy of Diablo 4, which again does not usually work out for competitors. Take a look at Paladins, for example. Paladins was so-called the Overwatch competitor, but despite major skin sales and whatnot, they still never made it anywhere near Overwatch. And while Overwatch 2 is a thing, Paladins never came out with the Paladins 2. They're still running on outdated graphics. It's a nightmare. Okay, good. Finally, I've been waiting for this. Okay, now I've got Chip as well. I'll be with you in a sec. Now I can purchase Dexterity and win. There have been a lot of Destiny, World of Warcraft killers. Several Warhammer games all tried to be, you know, World of Warcraft killers. Never worked. This is kind of the problem. when a game is so unique, right, it's very difficult to beat. And that's kind of, like I said, that's kind of the problem that many of these things had, because they just cannot defeat the original.
Have the honor to make our lords. The virile offspring should allow us the power we need to take back the camp from these heretics. However, I do begin a process that will surely be deadly. Service demands sacrifice.
Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go. And thank you to everybody actively watching the stream. All right, you guys are awesome. Keep it up, keep it up. Okay, if I can make rent this month, I can keep making more content for you guys, which means more streams and more awesomeness. So thank you all very much for your viewership. All right. Well, that's what I call damage output. Hi. Keep in mind that these enemies are 12 levels higher than me. It's great. Rogue is unbelievable. I'm also doing all of this without a upgraded chest piece and with one sword not upgraded. I'm gonna keep increasing my damage output first. This chip is awesome. Okay. Alright. We cleaned up the area, didn't we? Let's get out of here. Ooh. Rogue is the best. Once you go rogue, it's hard to go brogue. Or something like that. Poison. Yeah, this is trash. So junk. 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 %, junk. This armor, it's good, but actually, you know what? This is worth it. This is potentially worth it. I'm gonna go craft that because I can potentially roll damage resistance on it, which I want. And I need. Okay, time to go craft up some armor. That and also, almost got this set. I just need one more, which I'll easily get. And my cutthroat skills are gonna deal bonus damage. Today was tomorrow. What's up? Howdy, howdy. Bing.
Come back if you need the
Okay, first and foremost, let's go do wild stuff that we're not supposed to. Yeah? Why? Because doing wild stuff that we're not supposed to is awesome. Okay, dokie. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, which is super freaking awesome. We're gonna go take this shadow resistance and we're gonna try and roll for, you know, we're gonna try and roll lucky. Damage reduction, far or armor, either one is good. 3% total armor, okay, that's really good. Now, what's the level range on it? It can go up to 5%, so we're gonna roll a bit more. Okay, definitely no change here. We're gonna roll a bit more. Nope. And we're gonna take one more gamble. Nope, worse. Okay, one more gamble. Okay, that's fine. Although we don't get damage resistance distant, we can literally make this work. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna imprint an aspect on it. My favorite one. Armor. There's a lot of these. Okay, good. Okay, wait a second. Wrong one. This one. Phew! Thought I was gonna imprint the thing on a wrong thing. Okay, there we go. Almost imprinted on the wrong one. Okay, yep. There we go. Total armor, and it comes with damage too, which is really good. Okay, bing. Not perfect, but this is good enough. Now, you're gonna see my survival get turned up to 11. Come over here. Let's add some sockets in. Bing 1. Bing 2. Enjoy, Rena. Today was tomorrow, yes or no? I have no answer for your question.
You can't be serious, Thomas. Morgan's folly is lost in ruins.
Yeah, check that in.
Back is...
Now,
This isn't like before.
let's trick it out. Well, thank you. Thank you for that compliment. Solar, you know this person?
Yes, you are something so fine.
Okay, sick. Like I said, not perfect, but it'll do. It'll do for now. The extra armor plus that defense, I should be able to survive even distant enemies. So we'll go with that.
I'll shake on that.
Taking a wild guess. I mean, sure, that works. Now. Yeah, getting a solid roll is sometimes the biggest trouble, Patrick. Unfortunately, it's luck and chance based. That's why my sword, like, I've only upgraded this one. Because this one, out of everything, has 2 perfect rolls, and that's it. I literally only have 2, and they roll pretty low. So I've got no choice, man. I gotta wait for a good sword. Because unfortunately, DPS per second supersedes everything on the swords, because they are your main weapon. So you have to just take what rolls you can get, which means that my output can definitely go higher. Oh, she's your girlfriend. Okay, nice. Thank you for contributing to my rent revenue, alright? I hope she keeps watching with the sound on. Let me know if you're ready, buddy. Hang on. If you're ready, I'll activate the next one. I wonder if we can clear tier 16. I think we should be able to, because Rogue's too strong anyway. I think sister would be more incorrect than GF, bro. I have never seen somebody's sister just randomly watch them, but I mean, I could be wrong, I guess. Alright, Ancient Slime Man it is. Let's go, buddy. My wife does the same thing, but she is currently sleeping because she's in Ireland, so she's on Irish time. But yes, you should join him for this game, Ashley. You know, y'all should play together. Gaming couple, always awesome. That's the way, man. That is the way. But thank you both for keeping my stream up. I appreciate helping me make rent this month. Means a lot. Means a lot to have people believe in my content, so thank you. Thank you. Sincere appreciations, man. This one has just nightmare portals, so nothing too dangerous. Yeah. Oh, careful if they explode, yeah?
Exploring the steps, I have never encountered this ruin.
Good. Okay,
It
good.
seems to have simply emerged out of the basin. I cannot
Alright, let's go.
The ancients carved deep into the salt of this area, we assume, for its protective qualities. A structure like this could have held powerful evil at bay. Or perhaps kept it locked inside.
Yeah, where are the lunatics? The ones there, they're the ones that are the biggest headache for this kind of thing. Glad I'm surviving them though. Okay, channeling shrine. Oh, the shrine wasn't cursed. Sad. So when I have a channeling shrine, right, I just literally start stabbing with twisted blades. Oh, careful. I'll get you. There you go. Yeah, careful of the lunatics. They have very, very high damage. So what I do is I normally dash out of the way because their explosion radius isn't that large. So yeah, that will be your biggest danger as a rogue. In fact, any class when you're fighting above your level, the lunatics are pretty bad because they will one-shot you. Especially at the upper tier nightmares, so just be careful of that. Okay, this way. No. Listen. My girl didn't like Diablo either, but you know, she gave it a try for me, and I tell you, it's a great game. Diablo 4 is the easiest Diablo to get into because it's very simple and straightforward. You will not die fast, I promise you. Besides, what you worried about, alright? I'm dragging Solar to some of the toughest dungeons. You know, if you decide to play and you play normally, he'll be able to carry you, no problem. You know, he can help you out. But Street Fighter is an amazing game. I cannot play Street Fighter. I cannot play fighting games. They don't work with my brain. I literally cannot do it. I've tried, but like I will lose in tutorial stages. When it comes to fighting games, I am the equivalent of a video game journalist, and that is terrifying. So fighting games are 100% not for me. I just can't figure them out. Maybe it's because I was too poor as a kid, never really got to experiment in arcades a lot, but I just can't do them. I just cannot do them. I've even tried with one of the specky controllers at my pal's house, you know, when I was younger. Still couldn't do it. And yeah, he had one of those nice ones with the board and all the buttons on it and the joystick and everything. So it was like being in the arcade, but I just couldn't do it, man. So I respect anyone that can play fighting games. It's not my genre. Same with battle royales. I cannot do battle royales. I hate any game that is like your equipment is almost 100% luck and chance based. Those kinds of games just don't suit me. You give me a straight up shooter like COD and the rest, you know, no problem. But those kinds of games, no way. The only battle royale-ish game that I ever played was Cycle, the Frontier, and that's shutting down already. Well, I mean, understandable. The genre has too many competitors and, you know, not very financially viable. Wow, I respect the fact that you can button mash and do well. I cannot. As a rule of thumb, my luck is pretty bad, so that's why I like things with a good element of certainty. Respect, though. Respect. But hey, listen, Solar. Dating a gamer girl, that's a keeper for sure. Tell you, the fact that my girl games with me is just so good. You always gotta date a gamer girl. No other choice. Okay. At the very least, as a content creator, anyway. Battle bit it is. I don't even know what that is. Oh, nightmare portal. Get stabbed. Fun fact, right? So this is something that I like to do if I'm running solo and I'm not running with anybody, right? Did you know that if you don't destroy the nightmare portals and you're lazy, oh shit! If you don't destroy the nightmare portals and you're lazy, you can literally just dash away from them and they will follow you. So you can like literally go through the whole dungeon if you go fast enough and never touch a nightmare portal. Rena, bro, what the fuck? Who just comes out with that in a chat? Like, yo, why you bitter, man? No. Gamer girl best. You see, I mean, if, you know, you gotta understand, all right? There are gamer girls, okay? You know, those are good women like Ashley and Kaz, you know? Then there are gamer hoes who just want items. And those girls you stay the hell away from. Okay? No. Gamer girls best. Gamer hoes, now that's a different story. Oh Lord, Devora. I actually remember that. That's the Insect Queen character. Holy shit balls. She's got some weird attacks. I remember getting my ass handed to me. Lol boog. Yeah, I think that one literally is more on your friend. I don't think you should refer to him as your friend though. That just sucks, bro. Anyway, I'm sorry you went through that. But damn, man, damn. Okay, wait. Can I activate this effect? Yes, activated. Great. Yeah, I mean, both of them, sure, but either way, you know? I'm saying I wouldn't refer to them as your friend. Hell no, fuck them both, man. I mean, and not in that way either. You know? Screw them both. That sucks. Yep. Always sucks when, you know, weird shit like that happens. I think sometimes it's just people, you know? You gotta find the right one. I myself went through quite a lot, you know, before actually getting to a good stage, so I'm always happy for people because I know there's a light at the end of the tunnel eventually. Like in my case, it was Kaz. Y'all don't know me from before I met Kaz, so there's a huge difference there. I think y'all will never know, you know? But I'm glad I got it all out of my system when I was younger and, you know, finished doing stupid shit. Now, much better person. And very relaxed as well. Okay, tier 16 might be a bit much for you, buddy. We'll go on the lower tiers a bit. Yep. 100%, man. 100%. Never keep the snakes around you. You know, I don't mind sharing my story. Oh, man, 6 months ago. That sucks, bro. Well, it's okay. Now we are friends. And I won't steal your girl because I am married. So it's okay. We are friends. But, you know, I show you guys my story. Like, this was all before y'all ever met me. You know, this was all before I was ever on YouTube. Some wild shit happened. So I don't know if y'all know do y'all know the platform Mixer? See, back in the past, I was a Mixer partner. And what actually happened with me was that at the time, as an Asian man, I was growing big and, you know, making a lot of the right moves. But I guess a lot of people weren't too happy with that. And what it resulted in basically was that, long story short, some freaking improper individuals, you know, as I've mentioned, some gamer hoes, they tried to accuse me of a lot of stuff. They tried to accuse me of sexual misconduct. It was during the Me Too times, and you know, unfortunately for them, I was already with Kaz, so like, you know, I literally had wife backup to literally tell these people, hey, what the fuck's going on, you know? And it was stupid as shit. And that really made me realize that sometimes, you know, you can't be too friendly or that kind of stuff. And I learned a lot from that experience. So after that, I was like, you know what? I'ma stick to being chill. Sorry, a girl for what? A girl for me? I'm married. I'm married, very happily married to my girl. So thank you for the offer, but I don't need any girls. I'm good. I'm very good. I am happily married to my Kaz. Yes, yes, I am perfectly fine. But thank you for the offer. But you know, I think she will fight any female that approaches me. But thank you for thinking of me. Okay, we'll go to a lower tier solar so that you don't get exploded as much, at least until you get probably you need more damage reduction for that one, because I've got tricked out damage reduction, so I don't get exploded as much. Man, why is all this trash?
Worth keeping.
Oh god, not even a single good roll. Misery. Yeah, you know, you just gotta do you for a bit sometimes, but like I said, I lucked out with that thing because it almost put an end to my streaming career as soon as it started, and it was pretty bad time, I gotta admit. You know, like I said, there's lots of people, and the worst part is that after that whole thing died down, you know, like none of these ladies that, you know, made these accusations were punished, which I think is sucky in the long term, you know, because they went around making false accusations. But what I can certainly say is that their streamer careers are in the toilet, and I'm rising up and doing well. So, you know, that's my win, and I'm gonna hold on to that and enjoy that as much as I can, you know. You always push through, you always come out better. I feel that. So 110%, man. 110%. It did, especially for me. So it's gonna wait a little while. If Solar doesn't move, then I'm gonna assume he's good to go. Okay, I think he's good to go. All right, Core Dragon Barracks. Let's try a tier 14. See if we, you know, your survival is better there. At least until I gear you up a little bit. Oh, there's a Helltide too. Okay, we'll clear this, then we'll go hit the Helltide. Oh, dude, there were tons of baseless accusation cases thrown around left, right, center, man. It was so dumb. And like I said, none of these people were punished. I will always remember, okay, the people who did me wrong. Tell you, when I'm a big star, oh, I'm gonna go after all these people. I'm gonna do it quiet though. You know, nothing public, none of that stuff. You know, I'm gonna take them out. That is my personal vengeance, 110%. Oh shit, I went the wrong way. Whoops, I was thinking, wait, this isn't a dungeon. Lol, I literally went the wrong way. Lol. Yeah, no, you know, you gotta have somebody that enjoys your company, man. That's what's important. So kudos. Say Solar is very lucky right here, you know. But everybody finds the one that's right for them, you know. It's just about time. It's just about time. I mean, I didn't find the right one till I was in my 30s, you know. So 100%. Sometimes it's just like that. You gotta take the time. Wait, try not to split up too much, yeah? Because for nightmare dungeons, you don't want to split, because otherwise you're not gonna get enough loot. So don't separate from, like, don't deviate from the path. It's better if we stick together. So that's to clear out the side rooms. Because now, don't forget, XP is given by kills as well. So 95% of the time, along the way up till like before the ending bit, because the ending bit's obviously a big major XP, but yeah, you just want to make sure you clear out most of the area until you get in there. But yeah, try to go in the same direction, because that way we both collect all the loot we need. And you never know when you will get a good piece. So always good. Could be a hardware side issue. I'm just saying, I don't think it is, but it could be. Because that does happen to me sometimes, but it's mostly when the game starts eating up all my frames. Which can happen. It can happen. Oh. Some guy whispered, "I love you" to me. Okay. Thank you, random citizen. I was wondering why I couldn't open the gate. Now I realized that the mechanism's over here. Lol. Okay, good. I'll put in my point a little later. After this, we'll hit up the Helltide, and then for the last hour of stream, I'm gonna solo, but that's because I want to make content on the rogue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to push even more limits for the last hour of my stream. But I'll be back again in the evening, although it'll be later than normal today, because today is a holiday for my Islamic relatives, and we will all be hanging out. I'm Buddhist, but I got a big family. I got all sorts of nows. And I don't know what's up with the servers, because I'm playing perfectly fine. Yeah. My latency is about 86, but I'm doing alright. And then this is literally the same ping that I get on Overwatch servers, so... even on my own home server. Alright. Shui. Ping's been all over the place for you too, Jason? Yeah. Okay. I mean, you know, the other day Blizz did get... Oh, congrats on your level up, Solar. The other day Blizz did get DDoS, so... Sometimes it's ISP, but usually not the case. Blizzard servers, unfortunately, have been under DDoS several times. Like, even if they don't mention it, the last one they were forced to mention because it was so bad. But like I've always said, I'm pretty sure it's the salty PoE2 boys, because they know that their game ain't gonna match up. I ain't no Blizzard fanboy, but I've seen what they've been saying on the forums, and I feel that that is no good. You know, if a game can compete, it should not need help from its players to DDoS or deny service. Hey Samurai, how you doing, homie? Laced into bronze, it was so wrong. No games I won, so I made songs. And before long, I will be strong, just like Jadon. Now I'm in platinum and I go at them. You know what I'm really hoping for though? I want StarCraft to get its own, like, something like this. Like, can you imagine open world StarCraft? Oh man, I would love it. Fly your ship around different planets, go farm for gear, fight Zerg and Protoss and all that. That might be fun. I know it's a strategy game, but it deserves it deserves its own MMO. I know you love the raps, yeah? Thank you. Glad you enjoy my singing. As for the DDoS, yeah, there could be a smaller one, but they just wouldn't mention it. But DDoS, that one was pretty bad. Like, they resolved it, but, you know. Yeah, try it out and see if it helps you out, Rena. I just miss being able to do all the old StarCraft parody songs. Tempo was so much fun back in the day. But StarCraft Ghost wasn't like a multiplayer though. It was just like it was like a single player kind of thing, you know? But if they resurrect it in a multiplayer form, I wouldn't mind. But I'm sick and tired of Nova being the protagonist because she's a minor character that we don't even care about. Like, the only time you really see her is in a couple of missions, and even then, she's got her own comic book storyline, but still, nobody gives a shit about her. You know, if they're gonna do StarCraft Coast, it should be about Sarah Kerrigan's past. I'm not too keen on a Dune MMO. Like, Dune is great as a movie, but I'm not so into it that unless it's the most fantastic MMO ever, you know, it's gonna be hard. I think pretty much every MMO now is gonna be judged by the Diablo 4 standard. Because much like with Elden Ring, which kind of changed the whole vibe of FromSoft games. Oh shit. I'm gonna toss out some gear that I don't need. Diablo changed, like, Elden Ring changed the whole FromSoft stuff, but I have a feeling that Diablo is gonna set the standard for MMOs going forward. Because WoW is cool, but it's dated, and that means that people aren't really gonna, you know, want another WoW. So Diablo is kind of the new standard, and I think that a lot of other games are either going to have to meet this standard or, you know, alter their expectations. Time to start tossing. Yet another Paragon point. Beautiful. We just got one more Blood Boil to take out. I'm just gonna check if there's one here. If there's not, then we'll go advance up. Okay. I would say if I have to give a strong preference, the Rogue is by far the strongest. It's stronger than the other two. Even if I were to prefer any of the other two on a fun factor basis, the Rogue is just stronger, and there's no reason not to play a Rogue. Like, you'd be gimping yourself if you didn't play a Rogue, because the Rogue is just too powerful. There's the last Blood Blister, good. Lovely. Okay, good work. Let's clean up the elite. Okay, now gonna toss out some of the basic stuff. Do that, that, and that. Alright, back to town. I'm gonna clean up the inventory, then we can hit the Helltide. Yeah, Dune would need like a freaking realistic economy, but even then, I'm like not keen on that kind of thing, because yeah, EVE Online was definitely not my jam either. So yeah. But Diablo is definitely setting the standard because of how easy it is for people to get into it. That's kind of the thing. Diablo is good because it is easy, and because people can get into it without feeling like, oh, you know, I have to have XYZ number of, you know, I have to have like mega knowledge before I get into it. You don't. And I think that has truly set a wonderful standard for others to enjoy and be able to capitalize on. So that for me is major. I do not want this because I'll find something better. Okay. I'm only being careful of rings and chess pieces. This one I'm gonna extract. Yep, I mean, solar can teach you most of what you know, but like I've got videos out there that'll pretty much explain the basics to you, and early and mid game you really don't need anything. You don't need any proper knowledge. You could definitely get into it without knowing too much. And like I said, I mean, you've got solar to guide you as well, so that should be alright. Okay, let's head into the Helltide. We have a good 41 minutes. More than enough to grab 2 chests. So I'm gonna just climb north. Because my ultimate goal is to reveal this whole area while I'm doing this Helltide. I mean, I guess Conan Exile classifies as an MMO. It should, theoretically, based on what little knowledge I have of it. But yeah, this particular Diablo is easier to get into than any of the other Diablos. Holy crap, we've got more than 30 active viewers. Yes! Today's the first day that we've had more than 30 active viewers. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. I'll tell you, one day next month, if we can maintain the 30 active, my rent is paid. So thank you guys for keeping the sound on. Appreciate that. But yeah, absolutely, you can play Diablo without any prior knowledge. In fact, there is something called the Book of Lorath, right? Which will basically explain the storyline for anybody up to this point. Yeah, thank you for those party emojis. It's great. Whee! Yeah, that's exactly what I do. But she loving it, my answer to that would be like, you have to really decide if your gear is better. So make sure you know what kind of gear you're looking for. For some of the other classes, I've already have the late game builds out, which talk about gear. This is for the Sorcerer, Barbarian, Druid. Rogues will be coming soonish, depending on when I get to level 60. Might be tonight, might be later, we'll see. But I will have a rogue build out as well for that, talking about gear, affixes, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, basically speaking, that is the necessary that people have to look at. And my honest advice would be, you know, make sure that if you're gonna say that, if you're gonna like say this is better gear, is it really better? You know, you gotta properly check and see whether it is. But if it is, then of course, by all means, by all means. Once again, big thank yous to everybody keeping that keeping the stream with sound on, you know. Slow and steadily, you know, we rise up, we get more every day, and it's beautiful to see. So thank you guys for believing in my content and keeping me running. All right, I appreciate my viewers tremendously. So yeah, just be careful, she loving it. Why max out upgrading gear at level 50 so you can get better gear drops? Because also, like, just to answer your question in full, it's because if you roll good affixes, you know, your gear will not be easily replaced. Like, unless I was telling people, unless I roll 3 good affixes, I cannot replace this crossbow, because this crossbow has almost perfect affix rolls. So it's all about, are you rolling perfectly on your affixes and stuff like that? If you are, then good, but if not, then, you know, no good. You cannot just replace stuff. So yeah. By the way, don't feel constrained during the Helltide. You can go near me, around me, anywhere if you want. Helltide, the basic thing is to just farm, and after I have enough, I'll be seeking out the mystery chests. Excuse me. No problem, Tim. I'm just glad that you enjoy my content. But I'm just going to say it in advance, thank you for joining me for the game, Solar. Just because I'm going to switch to solo mode after this Helltide is done. Because I'm going to go push my rogue for the last hour. I'm going to test it fully solo. See if I can do some wild shit. Who is this Cremy? Poor fellow was dead. Don't be like Cremy, okay? I see him werewolfing around, but he weak. But yes, I plan on sticking around, so I really enjoy Diablo. And unfortunately, I was either not a streamer or too poor during the time that the other Diablos were released. Like Diablo 3, I wasn't really a streamer, and I couldn't really afford games back then because it was a rough patch in my life. So now that Diablo 4 is out, I've got the perfect opportunity. I'm a streamer and content creator. I knew this would be my jam. So once it came out, at first I wasn't sure about it, but once I saw the open beta, I was never sure of anything else more in my life. Streaming wise, I mean. So I said, yup, this is it. This is what's gonna, you know, be my thing. And sure enough, it's working out, that's for sure. Because I knew my content style would fit Diablo on the whole. And seeing this type of game be so accessible to people, like even if it had just been, you know, a normal Diablo game, I would have been happy. But I think it's also because the developers for this one went above and beyond, and you can really just see how incredibly successful the sales for this game have been. Yeah, I'm sure you're able to kill him, because even 12 levels higher, Butcher's no big deal. For a rogue, anyway. So I just absolutely smoked the Butch. Easy. He is nothing to me. Oh, I am so sorry about this, Ash. Is Solar also a content creator? Because if you are, then the one thing which I have to say is that you cannot join another content creator. This is just etiquette. if you want to grow big in the industry, you cannot join another content creator without asking permission for collab. Especially, you can't ask people to follow them as well. So if you are a content creator, I am so sorry, but that is not permitted, and it's against rules. Actually, you will actually get pinged for this majorly if you do that, because it's considered like trying to steal another's community, and it makes people not only distrust that person, but it is considered extremely negative. So yeah, that is very, very not good. No, he's not sorry. Okay, as long as he's not, then that's fine, because that, you telling other people to like follow somebody unless they are a streamer or content creator, usually not permitted, because promoting somebody else on a stream is not a good idea. But if he's not one, then why did you say follow him, if you don't mind me asking? Because I'm just wary of this kind of stuff, because there's a lot of people that do try and use my content as a springboard for themselves, and of course it's something that we don't allow, and it's something that is looked at very negatively in the industry. So I do take it seriously when somebody, you know, does say like that. And if he is, you know, please admit it honestly, because it's gonna be better for you in the long run if you come clean and say this kind of stuff. Like, I'm not gonna get mad, but I am gonna teach that this kind of thing is usually a bad idea, because I do not do collabs with streamers, not without permission. And, you know, certainly it should not be something that you approach somebody else's community. Okay, but again, like I said, main question is, why did she ask them to follow you? Like, is there some kind of social media going on or something like that? I just want to be absolutely sure here. All right, I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it, but just make sure that this doesn't happen again, because it's really, really not a good look for anybody, you know. So just be very cautious, because it can lead to unpleasantness down the line, especially when permissions are not asked, things like that. So just do be careful. Yeah, I'll take your word for it, but yeah. Okay. Like I said, I'll take your word for it this time, you know, but let's not do that. Etiquette for anyone, you know, I'm just gonna say this on the off chance that maybe you're thinking about being a content creator in future, okay? But never do anything like that or say stuff like that in a stream, because anything that is to do with promoting somebody else on somebody else's stream is considered the most disrespectful thing you can do, and it's a major negative in the industry. And if you color your reputation with that, like before you even start anything or you do stuff like that, then sometimes your first impression is the only impression you get, and that can be like you know, something that may not be good to start your career off with. Like when I first got in the industry, I didn't know a lot of these norms as well, so it wasn't really the best kind of thing, but yeah, it taught me a lot, and I learned a lot from that experience. So, you know, just take it as a share. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I'll take y'all at face value this time, you know. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna figure out where that Helltide is. Okay, the chest resets in 1 freaking minute. Shit, can I make it? No, I don't even have the map open. Okay, no, I'll try and find the chest if I can. I'm gonna try and see if I don't have the map open. The chest is in a corner. I don't even know who that is, but yeah, sure. Same thing. I wouldn't say Rogue is a faster farmer than Barb. Both can do about the same thing, Alex, but it depends on your gear. A lot of this depends on gear. Also, lol, Rena, with that statement, you can follow me at Really. I do have a Twitch, but I'm not on there very often. I just use it for Twitch drops, you know? In case something good comes up, then I use it for Twitch drops. Basically, that's the thing. Okay, total gifted protection. But yeah, it like if you have good gear with the rogue, it's like you can, of course, you know, go pretty fast. And it's pretty easy to do cool stuff with the that's exiting Helltide. So, shit. I guess I gotta unlock more of the map. I'm just gonna try and see. Ooh, event. I'm gonna save up my stuff. Ah, I see the solar. Hi. Murder all the Helltides. Like, my rogue looks fast, but I have like tricked out gear. Don't forget that. If you have tricked out gear, you can farm faster than anything because you one-shot everything, you know? So that's usually the reason for the speed of the rogue. But the rogue does also look faster because, unlike the barbarian who uses a two-handed weapon, the rogue has a innate attack speed buff, and we tend to use two one-handed weapons. So our base attack speed is also higher. That and the key passive of the rogue increases attack speed even further. Rogue makes use of a lot of the attack speed based buffs, so they can look pretty fast. But in actuality, it's just because realistically our attack speed is by its very nature, as you can see, very fast. So the rogue can look like a fast farmer, but essentially the barb does the same thing. You know, it's just about the fact that the barb is like bigger hits in one shot. You know, kind of like that. The barb can be very fast. Depends. Like I said, depends. A lot of this depends. And again, whirlwind barbs. The more that I've learned about like all the different damage factors and stuff like that, the more that I learned about it, the more that I realized that the strength of the whirlwind barb, it's not in the big numbers. Hammer barb is way better for PvP, but the whirlwind barb has the means to inflict vulnerable consistently, and vulnerable is too necessary for when you really want to push end game, because without vulnerable you cannot inflict a lot of the damage that you would normally inflict. You know what I'm saying? By the way, I'm gonna try and go north, see if that can... Oh, wait. There. That's where I want to try and go. I think there's a mystery chest up there. But yeah, vulnerable is such a crucial status effect for most character classes that if you don't have a way of inflicting it consistently, like for example, other than just the exploit glyph, right? If you don't have a way of inflicting vulnerable like hyper consistently, it can lead to like lower overall DPS output. Because during the times that a boss is not vulnerable, your damage output is lower, you see? Because vulnerability affects everything, and also vulnerable is so crucial because vulnerable affects every target in the game, especially bosses. Bosses cannot be CC'd, so the Hammer the Ancients build is stronger against elites and stuff because elites can be CC'd. That's why you can one-shot elites so easily, but you cannot do the same with bosses because unless they are vulnerable at the time and you score a critical hit, you know, it's more difficult to absolutely wipe them out. So the Whirlwind Barb is strong for that reason. In Season 1, I'm going to try the Whirlwind Barb. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but I'm going to try the Whirlwind Barb in Season 1 and see if I can level with it. Because it might be interesting to run a Whirlwind Barb. But like I said, again, I'll have to see. By the way, Solar, there is a chest up here, a nightmare chest. Sorry, a mystery chest. I'm gonna pin the location for you so you can journey there. I'm gonna go and find the other one. So every Helltide, make sure you guys capture 2 nightmare chests at minimum, because not only will this greatly benefit you, but it will also result in good gear, and this is how you get good aspects, stuff like that. So I'll leave that pin there for you, Solar, so you can go in there and check it out. But yeah, basically Season 1, when Season 1 drops, I'm going to be using the Bone Spear Necro because it has innate vulnerable. The Whirlwind Barb because, again, innate vulnerable. and the Twisted Blades Rogue are going to be my first 3 characters, innate vulnerable. The other two, like Druid and Sork, I'm going to leave them to the last end of the season because they do not have innate vulnerability except for the Stormwolf, but Stormwolf also requires so many uniques that it can be a problem. So I'm just going to say that straight up. It can be a problem. Okay, so that is just my honest answer to everybody. That is what I'm going to be doing as soon as Season 1 starts, because I know for a fact that, you know, I want to be able to blow through Season 1 as soon as possible, because there's going to be like additional stuff, quest lines, all that kind of jazz, and it'll be good to like know about it beforehand. So yeah. So I'm going to rush through those 3 characters. Thank you, Rena, for doing that. I appreciate that tremendously. Sorry, he just did something for me in the background. Y-King is one of my coolest friends. I mean, same with Boog as well. I trust them to do a lot for me, and they have done a lot for me, honestly. Great people. Okay, I have almost cleaned up this inventory. I'm going back to the Helltide in a moment. Appreciate you, my dude. Thank you. Thank you. I literally love my buddies, like, because without them, like, half the shit that I try and do would literally not be getting done. So just so you know, these guys are like the lifeblood. Okay. Stormwolf is 100% gear dependent, and also I was talking about this early in the stream, and I'm so sorry for the delay in the response, but I was talking about this early in the stream. Just wanted to make sure I gave Viking a proper thanks. Stormwolf requires 2 uniques, and the unique slots are very valuable unique slots because they take up the helm and the chest piece. The helm and the chest piece are exceptionally valuable because these are the 2 ways that you can improve defensive aspects. So your chest and your pants slot, as well as your helm, should usually be left free. Like, if the build requires 1 unique piece, like maybe a unique chest, that's okay. You know, that will not be a severe detriment to you. But if it requires, like, for example, helm and chest piece, that's 2 slots. And unfortunately, all of them require helm and chest piece. Whether it's pulverized werebear or whether it's the what you call it, the Stormwolf, like, it can be very dangerous to do that. Let me know, Solar, once you've gotten your mystery chest, because then I'll take off my pin and I'll search for the second one. Because we got 21 minutes, we can definitely get a second one as well. So always try and get 2. Now, I can find it without the pin anyway, like, not a problem. But let me know once you've got it, then I'll put my pin in a different location. And if you guys need the tracker tool as well, if you want to know how we're finding the Helltide chest and all that kind of stuff, it's here. You can use this, okay? Anyone can use it, it's easy. Just go there, it'll show you exactly where the Helltide chests are. But yeah, Stormwolf and Sorcerer are going to be the last 2 classes that I work on next season, solely due to the fact that, oh man, I cleared this event like instantly. Also, lol, I saw that you did a seller. Nice job. But yeah, gear dependency and what slots your uniques take up is very important. If your thingy... Thank you for the kind super chat, Ashley. You didn't have to do that. Tell me, you want a sea shanty or a rap? Either way, I am good to go. That is our reward for all of our super chatters, but honestly, you didn't have to do that. Don't worry about it. It's a small mistake that anyone can make. I'm not mad, you know. I'm very chill and calm. Like, this kind of thing, I'm relaxed about it, you know. Don't even sweat it. But thank you regardless. I appreciate the help with rent. Okay. But yeah, Solar, just let me know when you've got that chest. I'm gonna go look for the second one. It should be in the deep forest somewhere inside. Is it second section or first section? First section around roughly here. Okay, it should be around these parts. I'll find it. Once you've gotten that chest, you just let me know, yeah? And I'll mark the second location for you. But I am gonna bum around here and murder souls. Remember always that the first and most important thing that a class needs is a way to inflict vulnerable, because vulnerable is in its own damage bucket. I've mentioned this before on streams, but damage buckets are very important because they act as multipliers. So for example, damage to close targets, damage to stun targets are in the same bucket, which means they do not multiply, right? But critical strike damage and vulnerable are in a separate bucket entirely. So because of that, right, the base bucket gets multiplied by vulnerable, and then that gets multiplied by crit. It stacks up your damage to like the millions, you see? So that is where the numbers get crazy, and it's why, ideally, right, all combat gear should have crit damage and vulnerable damage as an affix, and then it's all the other raw damage affixes. Of course, you take what you can get in the short term, but your ideal final roll should always be as many multiplicative buckets as you can. And that's just how people hit like the 9 millions, the 10 millions, you know. That's how they hit the millions and millions of damage. It's so insane. So, ideally, that's what we want, but, you know. Once you got it, you're good. Thank you. Appreciate the super chat regardless. But yes, you gotta pick. Sea shanty or rap, you know? You gotta pick because there's always rewards for super chatters. Regardless. Oh, is that the assassin? Oh no, it's just a normal boss. Was this guy running from a normal boss? That's saddening. For those of you that don't know, by the way, Hell-type bosses now give better loot. So if you see a boss around the Hell-type area and you take it out, it should give you slightly better drops. Should, theoretically. I think Solar's about to grab his first chest. I see him around the area. Okay, and thank you for subscribing. Ear. I love that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. That's all clean and clear. I'm gonna go after my second chest now. Let me see. The second chest should be around here someplace. Somewhere. Over the rainbow. Where is it? I think it's there. That looks like it. Yep, this is definitely the second chest. Aha. Okay, I think Solar picked up the chest, which is good. I don't see his location, so I should be fine. Alright, so the second chest is around here in the Ancient's Wood. Right here. Okay, because I'm going to head back to town, clean up my gear. Then I'm going to switch to solo mode for the last hour of stream. Thank you for the game, Solar. But before I do that, of course, we're going to have our... Since there was no pick, I guess I'm just going to rap. Because I haven't had a chance to rap for a little while. First, let me clean up my inventory.
Greetings.
And after that,
How
we
shall
will
I
do
guide
that.
my hammer?
This has terrible affixes, and I don't need that. Terrible affixes.
Better than
Need
starting
that.
from nothing.
Yeah, pin it on the map so that you don't lose it, and that way you can go in there and grab it. Always make sure to get the 2 chests during the Hell Tide, because once you do, your gear, it's usually a good way of getting gear affixes, either that or aspects, because you get 3 to 4 legendaries out of every mystery chest. It's so good for gearing. So Hell Tides are my favorite. Oh shit, it's only a 1.6 roll. Damn it. If that had a higher crit chance roll, that would be good. Now this is a nearly perfect roll, because you've got your slowed enemies. Okay, so this is just an example for those who are interested. Slowed enemies would be like raw damage bucket. Core skill damage, also raw damage bucket, unfortunately. But vulnerable damage is separate bucket. If you could roll crit damage in place of injured enemies, you would have 2 in your raw damage bucket and 2 in your multiplier buckets, which is really, really good. So, like, if it weren't for the fact that my original one is already perfect, you know, this would have been a really good one to replace. Like, I would be looking for anything that could beat out something like that. But I would need 700 item power for the next upgrade, because that's the next weapon tier. So, fortunately, this is not very useful to me, but that's okay.
That is steel. But well
That's
struck.
generally the kind of thing you'll look for when you're looking for all this stuff. Okay. Let's see, I need 15 more dexterity, which I can grab right here. And that way, I will have even more power. So I have both chip. I have closer and chip both. Now I just need to level them up to max. And this provides me additional damage reduction as well as additional attack power. I'm gonna grab all of this and then move up to grab Havoc as well, because this one is super crucial. I'm gonna go here and grab this way. I don't really need the strength nodes, so from here we will go grab that here, this. Okay, and then come back down here because there's more intelligence nodes here for the next opener. I guess I could also grab these ones if I really wanted to. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Now performance time. Before I switch to solo mode. And once again, thank you so much for running with me, Solar. Absolute pleasure. Now, which rap should I do? I got quite a few that I do so love for my new selection. So for those of you that have never heard my music on Spotify or SoundCloud, I don't have that many songs out yet, but you know, because music career on hold for Diablo, but in future I'll be getting back to it again. You know what? I gotta roll the one that Rena likes. Just because it's fun, and I haven't done those in quite a while. So if y'all haven't heard my music, SoundCloud, Spotify, yo. Live performance, ladies and gents. I know. Oh, she shouldn't be the one to tell me, oh, how I flow. But I'm caught in a game, so now I know I wanna die slow. And all I ever wanted was to have her in my home. But I guess it don't go, no. Hey, I'm coming in hard, gonna hit your heart right from the very start. Telling this story of how I was strung up. Bitches had me done up, before I knew it I was shut up. And now I was trapped in a never-ending cycle. Self-abuse mixed with a gaslight sideshow had me believing that I was the asshole. Then I realized they just wanted me to die slow. So I had enough of all the fucking treason. Taught myself to stabilize cause I had a reason. Came back from the brink, now I got a better bitch. She my partner in crime, yeah, we the real sitch. I know. Oh, shouldn't be the one to tell me, yo, how I flow. But I'm caught in a game, so now I know I wanna die slow. And all I ever wanted was to have her in my home. But I guess it don't go, no. You gotta understand, I am coming up with my own underground sound, man. Lots of folks think the music biz is easy. I can hire vocalists cause I'm too poor-see. So I had to learn how to do it on my own. Much like I had to learn how to say no. Was a time in my life I was always told, yeah, she told me I would never make a hit. So I believe it, she deceive it. Took that punishment and God receive it. Now I'm back on a whole different grind. Got a new mindset that straight up shines. Oh, yo, now I know why this goes out to Y King's heart, right? Don't let it in, don't let it breathe, don't let it be the end of me. I've got so much more to see, I've still got so much more to be. I know. Oh, she shouldn't be the one to tell me, yo, how I flow. But I'm caught in a game, so now I know I wanna die slow. And all I ever wanted was to have her in my home. But I guess it don't go, no. Thank you all for enjoying that. And thank you very kindly for the super chats. Pen, I'm actually going solo for the last bit of my stream. So I will be leaving party now. The reason is because I'm gonna push my limits. So I'm gonna hit up some serious nightmare dungeons. But now that I got more context, now I know why you like that one. I'm glad you do, buddy. I'm glad you do. All right, let's rock and roll. I'm gonna test my limits now. And I'm hoping to put out the rogue build soon, very soon. Because I know many people already want it. They're like, where's the late game? I'm like, coming. Thank you for lurking though, Bravo. Appreciate it, mega. And like I said, I thank everybody that's been here today, you know, supporting kindly. You guys have been very awesome. I appreciate it tremendously. Thank you so much. All right. We are making rent thanks to you. So these enemies here are level 70, eh? Oh, nice. Well, I'm glad you did, man. You know, it's nice seeing all the people that I've met from different games, though. You know, stick with me this long. It's good. But no regrets getting King addicted to Diablo. It's the good stuff. It's the good. This is the way. Like I said, folks, this is game of the century. For me, at least. You will remember me for centuries. Ew. The affixes suck, though. That's so bad. Oh well. Can't have everything. Yeah, they really did a good job with this one. You know, that's legit what I freaking liked. Like when I saw all that, I was like, yep, okay. Gorm of the century for me. People kept asking me about Lost Ark, but I was like, nah. I'm glad I didn't. Now I'm just praying that because, you know, First Descendant is by Nexon Korea, I'm just hoping that the game grind will not be excessive. Because what they need to do is they need to understand that respecting player time is very important. You see, with Diablo, in 2-3 hour sessions, you gain so much. You gain so much, which I absolutely enjoy, you know. I think that's freaking fantastic. So that's something that I think is pretty huge. And I hope that they keep that up with several of the other games coming out, because this, like I said, it sets the bar. It sets the bar, and it's very easy to get into. If they ensure that they respect player time, you know, well enough, then life is good. If they don't, then it will not be good. It shall be ungood. Slain villagers with the lab key. I missed that one, didn't I? Okay, time to Genji my way over. There it is. But the one thing that I like about the rogue above all, speed. Compared to all other classes, they've got 2 mobility skills, which means that you can literally just teleport where you need to. Yeah, it's actually the same with, I think, the Druid has 2 or 3 that look the same. The Necro has 2 or 3 that look the same. I like that one. I don't know what they were intending on that. So yeah, that one's a weird. Oh, it's a weird set, but just so you know, it's not just the sword. It's other classes as well. It was most obvious on the sorcerer, but other classes as well have suffered that issue. And I was just thinking to myself, what? But I mean, it is a free helmet, so I guess I really can't complain. Because if I were to complain, then I don't think that'd be very good, right? But you know, I gotta say, I still find it funny that the first time I ever dropped a, I dropped the Butcher's Cleaver was not from killing the Butcher. I've killed the Butcher so many times, you know, way above my level. And he still never dropped the Butcher's Cleaver until I fought the World Tier 4 World Boss, which is at level 90, right? And then I saw, hey, Butcher's Cleaver. Which I find hilarious. It just means that uniques can drop from anything, anywhere, anytime. Because many people hunt the Butcher to try and get the Butcher's Cleaver unique. Which is not that great, but I mean, still, they do hunt it for that purpose. And I just realized, like, you don't even need that. Speak to the wandering soul. Where? And why? Oh, here. Okay, I was wondering where he was.
Please,
Weird.
take it back from them. Let it end.
Easy. Insta-gib. The best part is that this dude is 12 levels higher than me. And just straight up got ripped. Oh well. Slay all the remaining enemies. Where are they? Dude, that one enemy just like literally ran away from the chest. Okay, okay. He's dead now. Good enough, good enough. Let's go level up Chip. Back to town. That was a terrible, terrible failure for them. Okay, perfection. Now, ladies and gents, I think on tonight's video, I'm gonna attempt World Tier 4 at level 58 with the Rogue. I think it should be possible to do. 1 second, reply no comments. The game build is only designed. Okay. Now, because I'm gonna attempt it on video, obviously I will switch off from my rogue for now. For now. But, oh wait, actually this aspect, I do need this one. Any of the other aspects that I need? No. I am not releasing Edge Masters either, so all of this I'm just gonna trash. Let's go, get it trashed out. By the way, even if I'm not presently like playing with anyone in the clan, if any of y'all want to use the clan chat to, you know, run with other people in the clan, or, you know, you just want to run with other folks, please, by all means, use that. The clan is there for you to do that. Okay, all clear. Let's toss out the gems too, because they're kind of irrelevant for now. Okay. Then I'm just gonna go extract this aspect until I get a better version of it. I want to chuck it on some of the stuff I have, because dishing out more damage to stunned enemies is easy. Correct. Okay, good. Now, for this last 23 minutes of stream, before I go off, have lunch, and then film my videos and everything, let me show y'all a preview of the future. This is something, now this character will be deleted of course, but this is what you're going to be seeing in Season 1. Because like I said, Season 1 is going to be tackled in a very different way. And basically, in order to achieve the best possible results for Season 1, we're going to showcase stuff like this. So basically, I'll probably... Now, I've got a modified version of the Necro, which I'm going to show you guys for leveling, basically. But through this, like, because the Necro is so easy, like, I tried to come up with a way to make it so that the Necro would not be, like, drastically negatively affected by the fact that you couldn't use the blood version late game. So I thought about doing like a minion necro, blood minion necro initially to see whether or not it would work well. But instead it was easier for me to go bone with some modifications. So that is exactly what we're gonna do now. Hang on, let me put on my ambiance in the background again. There it is. So I'm going with something that I feel will be a bit of an interestingly different pathway. That is to say, focusing on no ultimate again, but having skeletons in the early stages of the game to assist me a little bit. And I'll showcase some of this and whether or not it can actually, you know, do anything. I'll show y'all some basics. So this is my plan for Season 1. At the very least, I think it should work, theoretically. I mean, it can't be that bad, right? Right? Well, if it is, though, I'll just adjust it. But yeah, basically, by doing this, I have created a Necro that has some of the advantages of the minion Necro. So I'm not like completely, as dumb as it's gonna sound, I'm not completely boned. Get it? Boned. But at the same time, I'm also not drastically weakened. So I'm coming up with interesting ways to run this. And so far, it's actually pretty okay. Let's go do this event here. Oh, but after the rogue, man, this feels so slow. I'll tell you, leveling up in the early game after you play the rogue is going to be a pain. bone spear damage. I love how I can even yank elites. That's a good thing. See, the ability to inflict vulnerable is just too important. Even early game, the value against bosses is high. Value against pretty much anything is high, so that is majorly crucial. Now, understandably, you know, when you're just fresh, it's slower, but at the very least, even the Necro's basic skill, their most basic skill, has a way of inflicting vulnerable. You know, it's not consistent, but you can do it. You know, the other way is through the corpse tendril, but the fact that that is a thing, I think, is what makes all the difference for me. Because as soon as something is vulnerable, you know, it's no longer a threat. You can absolutely eliminate it, which I think is really cool. Like I said, this is definitely going to be one of the first openers for the Necro. Much slower, you know, obviously it's a slow kind of style, but, you know, that's the Necro in the early game. You don't get fast till the mid and late game anyway. I mean, Rogue is actually similar. And I mean, now it looks hyper fast, but when you first start the Rogue, man, it's a pain. That's the only thing that's going to be a downside of like starting new characters in each season. Because the initial part of the game is slow. Fun, but slow. And if you play from a high level character and you go to a low level one, it's the slowness, man. You got to start your play session on the slower character so that your brain is already used to the slower speed. If you start on the high level character and go down, ooh, not fun. Not fun. Oh, I'm level 10. Okay, I can level up my potion. I guess I should. Unlike the Rogue, though, Necro has no healing, so the only way for you to heal is via your potions. You'll have to remember. But then again, that's why for the Necro, life is a little bit easy in the sense that you are pure range. What do you have to even worry about, you know? And you do have minions. You have some minions to protect you. Against the average trash mobs, you can literally just waltz through content and rip them apart. Easy.
Do you require aid?
Dark all around. Why did Mother go? I don't want to be alone.
I don't want to be alone. Sorry, small child, you are alone. Nothing I can do for you, buddy. I mean, I can blow up corpses, but that's about it, you know? But yeah, your minions are basically your tanking force early game. That and Bone Spear will basically make it so you don't have to put in any effort. Either way, early game, it's not like you fight above your level. So, I mean, you'll be fighting in World Tier 2, but you will not be fighting above your level, so... I mean, you do have healing via your Blood Mist, but that's just a backup in case you get stuck. Like, really stuck. For the most part, even in the early stages of the game, all I do with this... World Tier 1? Bro, if you're ever in World Tier 1, you know what'll happen, bro. You will just see my hand come out of the computer and just go... Tsh. No, bad. Bad. No World Tier 1. World Tier 1, bad. You will just receive the ultimate schlappadappadoo. But yeah, as slow as it is, this is definitely going to be my opening character because no legendary aspects needed. All the tools you need are right in your hand, and you are ranged. When you have no materials and no ability to upgrade shit and you're building up, which is often the case for your first character, it is healthy to be able to just range. But your Skelly-mans take the aggro. They'll handle that shenanigans for you. There's a town nearby, isn't there? Need to go there. Must go to town. I mean, you can also rush side quests, but I find them less useful. Digiones are much better. Possibly Coco Nutter. But my personal thought is that if they do nerf it, it's going to be a nerf related to like, it's not going to be a nerf like just because Rogue is strong. That's not how it's going to be. It's going to be a nerf that is more or less related to the fact that vulnerable damage is so strong. Like that is my opinion on where the nerf is going to come from.
Best armor in the peeps.
It's mostly going to come from that. Excuse me. Because the biggest problem for, say, the Rogue is the fact that, or the biggest problem in the game, I should say right now, is the fact that vulnerable damage is crucial. Vulnerable damage is in its own bucket. As I've mentioned, this is the core to everything. Going good, going good. I'm just, you know, closing with a little bit of a showcase for how my Season 1 Necro is going to go. Because the Bone Necro, with a bit of modifications, can be good for leveling. Although the Bone Necro was mostly touted as an endgame build, I've figured out a way to level with it and do spectacularly, so I'm just showcasing a bit of that for Season 1. When it drops next month. But the Rogue, and I was also just telling people, the Rogues, if the Rogue does get nerfed, it's not going to be a nerf to the Rogue per se, but more a nerf for vulnerable damage. Because like I said, vulnerable damage is too crucial. You literally cannot fight without vulnerable damage. I mean, Season 1, everybody starts over, dude. Just so you know, you have to make a new character in Season 1. This character will be deleted, of course, and then when Season 1 starts, we'll go in and do our thing. But, more or less, the biggest problem that anyone's gonna encounter is just the fact that, you know, you are gonna have to deal with not only starting a new character, but getting familiar with things again. And if there are buffs and changes, nerfs and all that, you're gonna have to be prepared accordingly. So yeah. But the Bone Necro, as I mentioned, is hyper strong. So with a little bit of clever work, it can be the absolute best, like no one ever was, you know? Because Bone wipes out everything, so... And once you can add the aspect that inflicts vulnerable with your Bone Spear, that's pretty much a GG. Because literally the Necro's playstyle is simple. You see an elite, you just Bone Spear it. Have your minions attack. Make it vulnerable with your bone spikes, and then just keep bone spearing it. And you can also like get it stuck in a variety of different ways. Yep. It's just the ability to use corpses consistently. I'll always try and yank them all together with the corpse tendrils. Basically, the actual range class in this game is not the rogue, it's the Necro. Necro is the true range class in this game. And is the most lazy way to play, but also the greatest, like, I feel like the greatest thing ever about the Necro is the simple fact that the Necro does not require any aspects. It's the only class that does not require that. So it's the only, I mean, of course, for your endgame build, you will need good aspects for your Bone Spear build, but when you're first starting out, your abilities, your skills alone are enough. And that's what's so crazy strong about this. Because you can just, like, ignore passives and just slam everything into your Bone Spear, and you will just shred all your opponents. I'm just fighting with base gear, whatever I pick up along the way. Occasionally I might get something, you know, but we're just fighting all base gear. And like, there's no even danger of death. I haven't even upgraded my potions either. So, you know, in this preview, I hope you can see. Season 1, of course, I'll be playing the Necro right off the bat. Because Necro is top tier. Then, after that, Rogue will probably be my second character. Barbarian third. And I'm probably going to go Whirlwind Barb for Season 1. Just because the late game is much better with the Whirlwind Barb. The ability to cause damage with vulnerables, again, too crucial. It's just too important to overlook. Vulnerable is your best friend. Whether people like it or not, it is your best friend, and you've got no options. But I just wanted to work out a way that I could use minions in the early game as well, because of course late game you sacrifice everything, you don't need minions anymore because you've got all the damage reduction, you've got all the powers, you've got all the this and that. But early game you do need minions, and unfortunately, you know, you cannot function without them because you are just weak. But with a good use of Bone Spear and the like, no, I'd say this works out just fine. Yeah. That aspect will cause that to happen, which is hilarious. Like, I have Corpse Tendril, I'm literally not even using it. Ah, finally I got Reapers. There we go. Ideally early game, I want to use Reapers. Not only are they stronger, but they basically will form extra corpses, which is very, very helpful to you.
Wouldn't have made it without you.
Now, let's just keep upgrading Bone Spear. Then I'll need my Essence Builder from Corpsing. Too easy. Yep. Okay. So that's 3 more armor. More DPS per second. Like I said, uniques don't matter. Rogue doesn't use them. Don't look for perfect affixes instead, because like I said, Rogue never needs, will never need uniques, because unless the uniques have much superior
I can't leave my friends here.
unless they have a
Like this.
far superior way of
Can't do it alone.
improving your affixes, and unless their abilities can overcome or replace one of the defensive or offensive aspects. Uniques for the Rogue, unfortunately, are pretty trash. Because they can't do any of that, you know? Like, the Druid's uniques are so necessary only because they literally do all that. They do become a replacement for what you originally need. But even so, not a great fan. Not a big fan. I mean, at least scrap them, don't sell them. I put all of mine the first time I get them. I put them in a collection in the stash. Just because, you know, I like admiring the fact that I have them all.
Here. Something for your troubles. You deserve this. Never seen anyone fight like you.
Okay. DPS per second. Supersedes all. 2 more prisoners left to be freed. My god. It's so slow. This is so slow. I love yanking and leap into a killing zone. That's always hilarious. Okay, guys, so that is it. So I hope you guys have gotten a good taste for what Season 1's Necro will be like. Like I said, you barely take any damage. You'll just slowly and lazily murder everything that comes your way. Which is great, But of course, the Necro is only first. To be honest, Barb and Rogue do better in my opinion, but the Necro will always be first because of the simple fact that the Necro does not rely in any way, shape, or form in the early and mid game at least on any aspects. You can go in raw and still come out perfect.
You certainly have.
Of course, along the way you do want to collect good aspects, but still, you don't have to panic about them, which is healthy as frick. So, thank you guys very much for joining me on stream today. I will be rocking again this evening. Don't forget, my stream tonight will be later than normal. Okay, so I will be there at a later time, but I will be there tonight. Okay? Thank you all. Have a good one, and I'll catch you later. Bye.